In what ways does your media product use, develop or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? My media product uses forms and conventions of real media products, and this is because it starts off with a dramatic opening sequence. The effect of using this is that it sets a scene for the rest of the film by introducing important characters. For example, my introduction introduces the main character in my film, just like in the famous film Bourne Identity, which introduces its main character, Jason Bourne, with a dramatic opening sequence. Another way in which my media product replicates real media products is by using sound. The two kinds of sounds that I used in my media product is diegetic and non-diegetic sound. The diegetic sounds used in my media are the noise of a door shutting, the sound of someone's footsteps, and the sound of the indicators of a car. The sound of the indicator of the car are off-screen diegetic sounds, while the other two diegetic sounds are on-screen. My media product also uses titles at the start during my opening sequence, which shows the actors, directors, editors, camera crews and the producers of the film's names, which is professional and is also used in real media products. And finally, another use of the forms and conventions of real media products is the use of drug use, but not promoting drug use. This is a feature of many real media products because films are not allowed to do this if it has to be a rated 15 film, which my media production is. How does your media product represent particular social groups? My media product represents particular social groups, and these particular social groups are indies, grungers and townies. These particular social groups are represented in my media product, and this is because of the content of my film and the effect it has on its viewers. Indies are represented in my media product, and this is because the description of an indie scene star on the UK Tribes website is people who want to be ahead of the crowd and are willing to invest time and effort into their paraphernalia and detail of their subculture. I believe my media product represents this social group because my film is set in modern times, and I would like to say that it is a bit ahead of the crowd for its time. And this is due to the dynamic and atmospheric features. Also, I would like to say that the main character is a bit of an indie scene star mixed in with the other two social groups due to fashion and music taste. I think my film also represents the social group of grungers, and this is because the character in my movie dresses in dark clothing and the shots in the film are often dark and depressing, which would adhere to the stereotypical grungers' taste and style. And finally, I think my media product represents the social group of townies. This is because townies, along with indie scenesters, are into the drug culture, and because in my media product, drug use is portrayed by the main character dealing drugs in the opening sequence. This would stick to the stereotype of a townie, which is represented on the UK Tribes website. What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why? My media product is a low-budget, small-time production, so I believe institutions such as Odeon, Empire, Cineworld and Picture House wouldn't risk distributing a production as small as my media product, due to the lack of advertisement of the film beforehand, e.g. a lack of trailers. Also, the lack of profitability would leave such large institutions uninterested. So instead, I would distribute my media product online through social media websites such as YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo and Dailymotion, as I would be able to reach my target audience of teenagers and young adults through doing this, as social media websites are popular within this age group. Also, I would try to distribute my film to local independent institutions in the Southampton area. And this is because Southampton is a large area and it is very culturally diverse, and people in this area might relate to the content of my media product. Also, it's local. This means Southampton would be a perfect location to try and distribute my media product to independent institutions. And there are many of these in Southampton. For example, there is the BFFS student group, Union Films, the Students' Union, City I Turner Sims Concert Hall, Grey Ladies Arts Foundation, the Grey Ladies at Chapel, Harbour Lights Picture House, Phoenix, Southampton Film Society, Shape, the Southampton Heritage and Arts People, and the Phoenix Film Society Union Film. Who would be the audience for your media products? The audience for my media product would be similar to the social groups represented in my media product, and this is because I would like the audience to feel a link with the characters and themselves, because this would provide realism. The target audience for my media product would be within the age of 14 and 23, and this is because I want to aim my media product at teenagers and young adults, because it would fit in with the type of distribution I want to provide for my film. How did you address your audience? I attracted my audience by advertising my film on popular social media websites such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, Dailymotion, Tumblr and Instagram. I use these websites to advertise my media product because I believe this is the method as to how I would reach the audience I want to watch my film, as it's popular with the social group and target audience for my media product. I address my audience in my media product by hopefully sending out a hard-hitting, gritty message about life on the streets as a poverty-stricken drug dealer in a deprived area of England. Also, I feel I address my audience through the links between the viewers and the characters that they see before them on their screens. I did this because other popular media products that have done this successfully in very recent times are television shows such as Youngers, which is currently being broadcasted on E4. What have you learnt about the process of constructing this media product? What I have learnt about technologies from the process of constructing this media product is that it is vital when filming on your own to have a strong, stable Steadicam. If this is a commercial one or a homemade one, it doesn't matter as long as it does a good job, because shaky filming can look unprofessional and ruins the look of your media product. Something else I learnt about technologies is that you need to use a good, high-quality camera to film something travelling at fast speeds, and this is because if you don't, the quality of the shot looks blurry and you can't actually make out the image you are trying to present to your audience. Another thing I learnt about technologies from the process of constructing this media product is that when editing your media product, you should invest in a higher range of editing software. And this is because the free software that is available online is very limited in its functions, and you can't do some of the editing you would like to do on your film, which means you can't show the audience the true film you wanted them to see. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you have learnt in the progression of making your thriller? I feel like I have learnt in the progression of making my thriller that making it alone was actually extremely difficult, and next time I would like to make it with some other filmmakers, and this is because my media product would have benefited from other people's inputs and knowledge. Also, it would have been nice to share the workload with someone else, as it was very time consuming doing it alone.